Appreciate everybody joining, looking at this information. I'm excited to share with you some amazing information about Investview, our parent company to iGenius. And then we'll talk a little bit about NDAU, some amazing information about NDAU, go a little bit more in depth in the NDAU and how you can take advantage of that just to understand what we have before us. But looking at this, for those who ask a lot of questions, right? You probably don't ask as many questions as the three-letter government agency, the SEC. All right. So the US government agency oversees what we report, what our parent company reports through iGenius, right? So everything that we do, we have to make sure we're the gold standard, all right? And so Investview, we have in our iGenius portal, wealth of information about Investview. We have an offering that from a preferred, if you're not a person who invests in stocks or you don't know anything about penny stocks, we have a simple way that you can invest in our publicly traded company. All right. And so that link is here. I would challenge you to go visit that. The other things that are here as well, we have a how to do it, right? Because we want to explain to you how to actually participate in that offering. And then we have the Investview site here as well. So I'll click on that link so you can get a glimpse. You can take a look yourself and go to investview.com. But we try to keep the latest information, all the press releases, right? All the SEC filings are on the right, press releases on the left. And then we have the stock quote, right? Right in the middle. And then we have this four-letter acronym NDAU, all right? Right here, you can see the current price there. So I challenge you to go take a look at that. But here's why it's important to consider taking a position and purchasing Investview stock. All right. So I want to show you just a quick glimpse at a few companies that are trading on the stock market and their current price. All right. So you can understand the what you have here. So these are two companies. You can actually, if you're taking notes, you want to write that down. RIOT for Riot, and then MARA for Mara. All right. And here we are at the bottom, INVU for Investview. So this is our parent company here. All right. And here's some numbers back from January. How much we mine Bitcoin, if you didn't know. All right. One of our sister companies mines Bitcoin, is very profitable at mining Bitcoin. But if you look here, BTC mined in the month of January. Just think of mining coal or mining gold, right? You have to, it takes some computer power to calculate and grab these coins, right? Create them. And so we mined right around 80 coins. Now the other companies are, and I'm pretty sure we're, if not already caught up to them, right around the same number of how many we're mining. All right. But if you look here, projected revenue, right? Okay, so we're right in line with projected revenue. But guess what? Look at the stock price right here in the middle. Maybe I'll go to this here. Look at the stock price right here in the middle. Riot is trading at $48. And this was back in January or prior to that. Mara was trading right around $36. We are at penny stock today. So when you look at this, here's some key things you want to look at. The market cap, and we're a $1 billion company, so it may have gone down just a tad bit, but their market cap is 13 times, 12 times our market cap. All right. Take a look at this. The price to sales to our parent company, 7.6 times, 10.7. So what that means is 10 times the amount that our stock is trading, um, theirs is, 10 times more. And so, and that's from a sales perspective. But let's look at this other slide here so you can get an idea. Here's a shadow trader that did an article and a video on Investview. All right. And he compared the Bitcoin price to the futures price to, most of us know Grayscale. All right. They have a offering with Grayscale, then Riot, Mara, and then you have Investview. So some interesting opportunities when it comes to Investview. Now, here's what I'm going to do for you. I want to pull up, since we are doing a recording, I want to find the, I guess I captured a screenshot of an account that I have for Investview stock. So I looked at this account. Let's see, right around. Let's actually look at when I looked at this account. Because basically what I want you to understand is this was right around April the 10th or so. Right? What I want you to understand is I invested in the Investview stock in January of 2018. Okay. And so I had, I guess, not necessarily forgot, but this is a stock that is long term, right? So this investment is long term. And so right around 8 cents is where I purchased the Investview stock. All right. And so this gets you to understand why it's important to stick around, because you'll see everything in your accounts will speak for themselves. Okay. And so one of the leaders asked me what exactly company I was using or broker. I not logged into the account probably for a year and a half or so, probably even 2 years. All right. So right around April, I logged into this account. It was right around 500% up. Now I had initially invested right around $20,000, I believe, at that time, and it grew to over $100,000 profit. Right. So this is where I tell you that you want to make sure. Now these are my results, right? And of course, with me seeing that's wanting me to obviously continue to invest more and hold it long term, right? But the value capture that we have with Investview is amazing. There was a recent announcement that said we potentially within a year maybe traded on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. So what I want you to understand is this: in order to be traded on the New York, the NASDAQ, I'm sorry, it trades at a minimum of $4 per share. All right. Now we just showed you how much the others are worth today. All right. So how much the other companies that mine Bitcoin are worth today. All right. And so that's pretty amazing to know that we're gonna become soon in line with these other companies, because we're looked at as a Bitcoin mining company when it comes to stock trading. So understand the value the value capture. I mean, between 2018 and now, I saw a 500% increase in the stock. All right. So just imagine what's going to happen when we get on one of the main exchanges. It'll be a few 1,000% increase, in my opinion. All right. So the value add there, you don't want to miss that. So again, we have an offering. Go into your portal, Take a look at it. This is a quick way to get involved. You don't have to have a broker account to purchase this. Okay, you just have to validate your information, and then you can purchase it in $100 increments. All right, in this offering. All right, now let's talk about NDAU. That's enough about Investview, right? Take a breather. Let's talk about NDAU. So NDAU is, I believe, and it's compared to Bitcoin, okay? But I believe it's one of the first, or it says one of the first adaptive currencies, all right? And so what I want to do is not just talk to you about it. I want to actually show you some information, and hopefully you can listen to this and hear what's going on. So give me a second here, and let's take a look at this information.
That we've touched on as it pertains, as it relates to monetary policy, as we've been talking about this, because again, we're sharing it in layman's terms as we talk to everybody about it. But we talked about this bonding curve, and it really is, in our eyes, something that is it's revolutionary. But we probably aren't the technical experts. So why don't you guys just share with us? Ken, probably this is one for you. Talk to us about the bonding curve, the different prices and how that works. Probably clear up all the wrong, the misconceptions we maybe put out there with the way we've been explaining it. Why don't you clarify for everyone?
Sure. So we looked at it, the bonding curve, as this is a way of releasing NDAU into the ecosystem, into people's hands, but in a way where there's not too much being dumped out there when the market can't yet support it. To do that, we use whatever the market price is to gauge whether there is more receptivity to there being more NDAU being released. So there's 30 million NDAU in a reserve, and this bonding curve that goes up over time. There's only more NDAU being sold at that new price if the market price reaches that point. So it's all released through exchanges. The basic format of it, there's 3 phases. It's an S curve, classic S curve, where in the first phase is the high growth phase. So the first 1/3 of the 30 million to be released, there's 10 million NDAU there. The bonding curve price doubles 14 times in that first phase.
So let me stop it there, right? So hopefully you guys can still hear me. I want you to capture something if you're taking notes, right? So there are 3 phases to NDAU, all right? There are 3 phases to NDAU. And let me capture a small subset of this so I can kind of draw this out for you. All right, so there are 3 phases to NDAU. Trying to see why this is not. All right, let me just do this here so I can get a longer thing here. All right, so the first phase, he talked about it going along an S curve, all right? And so this is how I look at it, that standard S curve that you're familiar with. But here's the NDAU S curve. And there's an image out there. I couldn't find it. But here's NDAU. Here's the standard S curve that we're used to seeing about the early adopters, and I think a lot of us are familiar with that, right? When it comes to things that we do, all right? But when it comes to the NDAU S curve, all right, the first phase, so this is called the high growth phase, okay? The first phase, which we're in, the high growth phase goes from $1, all right, to it ends, the first phase ends at 16,000 per coin. That's correct. $16,000 per coin. All right. So what happens along this is that 14 times it doubles. It doubles 14 times until it gets to 16,000. All right, then phase two, which he'll talk about here in a moment, I just want to make sure you guys capture that. The final price in phase one is 16,000. We're currently right around $24, okay? $24. As I said, it doubles 14 times up to 16,000 per coin. So if you just own 66 coins, all right, 67. What if it took 10 years for this to get to 16,000? What if it took 15 years for it to get there? What if it took 5 years? Okay? Remember, it goes along a bonding curve, and that's what it happens, but 66 coins will yield you over $1 million, all right, at 16,000 per coin. Okay, and we're right around 24. We're obviously offering it at a lower price, is why you want to make sure you take advantage of this. But this is phase one. Okay, now phase two, let me see if this can continue. Let me see if this video continues for you. So I don't see it playing, but let's just go through phase two. So phase two, so this is phase one, okay? Phase two is called the transition phase, all right? And so let's just end phase two here. So phase two is the transition phase, all right? Now what happens during this phase is 10 million NDAU are issued throughout that phase, and it doubles 4 times. So just imagine at 16,000, it doubling 4 times from 16,000 per coin. All right, so phase one up to 16,000, okay? And I've covered this a few times, but I thought it was necessary to do a little more in depth here. And then the third phase, so we say F3, okay? Phase three is the equilibrium phase, okay? And during this phase, it doubles 1 time, all right? And during that phase, there is 10 million NDAU issued. There's 30 million NDAU total, 30 million, all right? 30 million total. The first phase, they issue 10. Second phase, they issue 10. And then the third phase, they issue 10, right? 10 million coins in the market. All right. But they didn't mention what the price would be on phase two and phase three, but I think they won't know at that point, right? But they do know up until the end of the phase one is 16,000 per coin. All right. So I want you to digest that for a moment and understand where 66 coins, if it took 10 years to reach that point, right? And this was in your family, right? This was in your family trust or will or something, and it was willed to your children. They would wake up, or when they become an adult, and have $1 million, over $1 million actually. So understand the value here. We're in the first part of this, and this is a messy drawing here. I do know how to draw, but this mouse doesn't do me any service. All right, but I thought it was necessary to cover this. Now, where can you get that video at? When you invest in anything, you want to make sure you look at the information. All right, study it. So you want to come to NDAU, come to your iGenius portal. The video, I captured a portion of it, but you want to come to your iGenius portal. All right, and here's the video right down here. All right, the NDAU Q&A. All right. Now it's over an hour long. Okay, but it's some valuable information. Now I captured that video, and what I'll do is I will send that to the leader so we can probably put that portion out, because I captured what I believe the most value capture out of the video, so people understand the value of NDAU in itself without understanding anything else. All right, so I'm going to send this. I did capture that portion of it so everybody understands that when it comes to NDAU. All right, so I think this is where I ended, right? And so where we can take questions, and appreciate you looking at this information. Take care, take charge, and see you at the top.